Welcome to our channel. Today's video is dedicated to a very important and sensitive topic that concerns each of us: relationships, marriage, and why it is important to remain pure before marriage. We live in a world where cultural and social norms are constantly changing, but the Bible provides us with timeless truths that help us navigate through these changes with wisdom and godliness. We'll begin by reflecting on the biblical principles of marriage and purity, then move on to how these teachings apply to today's world and how they can help us form healthy, happy, and holy relationships. We will also discuss how living these principles affects not only our personal lives, but also society as a whole. Today's discussion is especially important because it is intended to inspire and encourage all who strive to live according to God's commandments in the face of the challenges of the modern world. Marriage, as the sacred texts teach, is not only an earthly agreement between two people, but also a sacred union ordained by God. It symbolizes the unification of man and woman into a single spiritual and physical entity. The Bible often emphasizes the importance and seriousness of this union, indicating that marriage is more than just a stage in life. It is a commitment that must reflect a love and devotion similar to that which Christ has for the church. According to Paul in Ephesians, marriage is also a sacrament comparable to the relationship between Christ and his church. This comparison highlights not only love and commitment, but also the deep spiritual aspect of marriage. Through marriage, believers are called to show care, understanding, and support to each other, seeking to grow together spiritually and strengthen their relationships in the light of Christian teachings. In the context of modern society, where relationships can be seen as temporary and changeable, the biblical understanding of marriage reminds us of its enduring value. Marriage encourages spiritual unity, fidelity, and unwavering commitment to each other, which becomes the foundation for a stable and healthy society. This biblical concept of marriage emphasizes its importance not only as a personal commitment, but also as an important element in the life of the community and church, supporting spiritual health and social stability through strengthening family ties. The church plays a key role in the lives of believers, providing not only spiritual guidance, but also practical support. It is a place where one can find guidance, fellowship, and comfort. Through sermons, Bible teaching, and support groups, the church helps its members develop and strengthen their faith and moral principles. Additionally, the Christian community can serve as a support network for those facing trials or temptations. Connecting with other believers who share similar values creates an environment conducive to mutual help and spiritual growth. This is especially important in the context of observing biblical teachings on marriage and purity. The church can also influence the general public by promoting ideas of biblical morality and purity that can help create a healthier, more stable society. In this role, the church not only teaches and instructs, but also acts as a moral compass for many who seek direction and support in their lives. The next part of the video could discuss specific tools and resources that the church and community offer to support believers in their journey to spiritual improvement and purity. These resources help with spiritual growth, provide mentoring, and provide opportunities for a deeper understanding of biblical principles. One such tool is the study groups and Bible courses that the church often organizes for its members. These groups provide an opportunity for Bible study in a friendly and supportive atmosphere where everyone can share their thoughts and get answers to their questions. Discussing topics such as marriage, family values, and purity allows you to deepen your understanding of these important aspects and see how they apply to modern life. In addition, many churches offer counseling services for couples planning marriage and for those already married. These counseling sessions may include premarital mentoring, which prepares couples for life together by teaching them how to build a relationship based on mutual respect, love, and commitment. Marriage improvement workshops are also available to help spouses renew their commitments and strengthen their bonds. For young people, the church often organizes events and meetings aimed at developing leadership skills and strengthening spiritual and moral foundations. These activities may include retreats, camps, and workshops that not only promote personal growth but also create a strong sense of community and belonging. Thus, through various programs and initiatives, the church strives to ensure that every believer can find the support and guidance needed to live according to biblical teachings. These efforts contribute to the creation of a strong, healthy community where every member feels included and supported in their spiritual journey. Marriage, according to the teachings of the Bible, is not just a social construct, but a fundamental element of Christian life, intended for spiritual unity, mutual support, and common growth. This understanding of marriage as a sacred union ordained by God has deep roots in Christian tradition and culture. In today's society, where relationships are often seen as temporary and subject to change, biblical principles offer a different perspective. They teach that marriage requires commitment, work, and permanence. These qualities not only strengthen the personal relationship between spouses, but also serve as the basis for the stability and well-being of the wider community. The Bible also emphasizes the importance of purity and fidelity in relationships. The principles of purity before and during marriage not only maintain moral and spiritual standards, but also promote deep, meaningful, and respectful relationships. These teachings can serve as a guide for young people and adults seeking to create strong and healthy family bonds. Discussing marriage in the context of biblical teachings helps us not only understand its sacred nature, but also the importance of pursuing spiritual growth and mutual understanding together. The church and community play a key role in supporting this endeavor by providing resources, educational programs, and mentoring that help couples and families overcome challenges and build strong relationships based on Christian values. Thus, the Bible's teachings on marriage and relationships offer not just a set of rules or restrictions, but a deep, enriching approach to personal relationships that can bring true happiness and satisfaction to those who follow these principles. This is especially true in today's world, where many seek stability and meaning in personal and family relationships. One of the key aspects is forgiveness and tolerance in marriage. The Bible repeatedly emphasizes the importance of forgiveness, both in the Lord's Prayer and in Jesus' teachings about forgiving others so that we can be forgiven. In the context of marriage, this teaching encourages spouses not to hold grudges and to try to resolve conflicts with love and understanding. This is especially important in a fast-paced world where stress and challenges can accumulate and undermine relationships. Further, stability in marriage is often tested in financial and economic conditions. Biblical principles of stewardship and honest work can help families not only survive difficult times, but also thrive through spiritual and moral foundations. Examples of such teachings can be found in Proverbs, where wisdom, hard work, and justice are the keys to a successful life. It is also important to discuss the role of parents in raising children according to biblical principles. Effective parenting requires not only example and guidance, but also active participation in the child's life, providing education, spiritual guidance, and love. The book of Ephesians says that children should obey their parents, and parents, in turn, should not provoke their children to anger, but bring them up in the admonition and teaching of the Lord. Finally, society and the church must work together to support and strengthen families by providing necessary resources, educational programs, and social services. This can include everything from family counseling to community programs to help those in need, helping to create a strong, healthy community. Thus, biblical teachings on marriage and relationships provide not just ideals, but practical solutions that can help modern believers create sustainable, healthy, and loving relationships and families. This is especially valuable in a world where many are looking for direction and support in their personal and family lives. In today's world where temptations are numerous, keeping this biblical principle becomes a true test of character and faith. The church and Christian community can play a key role in supporting this aspect by providing guidance and support for spouses as they strive to maintain purity and fidelity in their relationship. Additionally, the importance of spiritual unity in marriage cannot be underestimated. Marriage, ideally, should promote the spiritual growth of both partners. Through common prayers, participation in church services, and spiritual practices, spouses deepen their connection not only with each other, but also with God. This strengthens their relationships, making them more resilient to external challenges and conflicts. You should also pay attention to the role of forgiveness in marriage. The Bible teaches us to be merciful and forgive one another, just as we have been forgiven. This is especially true in marriage, since living together is inevitably accompanied by mistakes and misunderstandings. The ability to forgive and compromise is not just a desirable trait, it is a necessity for maintaining healthy, long-lasting relationships. To conclude this part, let's look at the impact of Christian family values on society as a whole. Families founded on biblical principles can serve as examples of healthy relationships and stability, which in turn helps strengthen the social fabric of a community. These families are often active participants in philanthropy, educational programs, and other social initiatives that promote the common good. Through all of these aspects, biblical teachings on marriage provide not only moral and spiritual guidelines for individual relationships, but also a model for building a more just and compassionate society. Moving on to the discussion of morality and purity, these concepts play a central role in the Bible's teachings on family and personal relationships. Purity, in a broad sense, is not limited to only sexual abstinence before marriage, but also includes spiritual, mental, and emotional purity, which promotes harmonious and healthy relationships. Purity is often mentioned in the Bible as an important quality for believers. The Apostle Paul repeatedly emphasizes in his letters the importance of living a life of purity and holiness. For example, in 1 Thessalonians he exhorts, "For it is the will of God that you should be holy and abstain from sexual immorality." These words emphasize that purity is not just a personal virtue, but also an expression of the will of God. In practice, cleanliness helps build relationships on a strong and healthy foundation. It promotes the development of mutual respect and trust between partners, which is key to long-term and happy relationships. In family life, purity introduces an element of fidelity and devotion, which protects the marriage from external temptations and trials. In today's society, where fleeting and superficial relationships are often celebrated, the biblical principles of purity offer an alternative path that promises greater depth and satisfaction. The church and Christian community can play an important role in fostering these values by providing education and support to youth and adults who strive to live by these principles. The church not only teaches the principles of cleanliness, but also provides specific tools and programs to maintain them. This may include youth groups, workshops, and retreats that focus on spiritual growth and personal development. Such programs help strengthen personal boundaries and develop the skills necessary to maintain cleanliness in all aspects of life. In conclusion, moral principles and purity, strengthened by biblical teachings, provide the basis for creating healthy, stable, and prosperous family and personal relationships. These principles promote not only personal well-being, but also public health, creating a more just and compassionate society. Abstinence before marriage and fidelity within marriage are not only important biblical requirements, but also promote deep spiritual connection between spouses. These principles can prevent many of the emotional and social problems, such as feelings of betrayal and broken trust that often result from infidelity. The Bible teaches that purity strengthens the individual and creates the foundation for deeper, more meaningful relationships. Cleanliness, however, is not limited to just the physical aspect. It also includes purity of thoughts and words. Philippians says, "Finally, my brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is righteous, whatever is pure, think about these things." This call emphasizes the importance of purity in all aspects of a believer's life, which promotes the development of virtues and reflects their faith in everyday life. Churches often organize educational programs that aim to teach moral principles, including purity. These programs may include Sunday schools, seminars for youth and adults, and specialized courses in family life. Education plays a key role in developing strong beliefs and helping believers understand and apply Bible principles to their lives. The principles of cleanliness and moral living also contribute to a healthy society. Belief in purity and moral standards can inspire believers to participate in public life, helping to spread positive change. This may include volunteering, participating in charitable and educational programs that contribute to the common good. In conclusion, adherence to biblical principles of purity and morality not only strengthens the personal lives of believers, but also has a positive impact on their families and society at large. These principles provide the foundation for the development of sustainable and healthy communities that value loyalty, purity, and moral responsibility. Abstinence before marriage and fidelity within marriage are not only important biblical requirements, but also promote deep spiritual connection between spouses. These principles can prevent many of the emotional and social problems, such as feelings of betrayal and broken trust, that often result from infidelity. The Bible teaches that purity strengthens the individual and creates the foundation for deeper, more meaningful relationships. Cleanliness, however, is not limited to just the physical aspect. It also includes purity of thoughts and words. Philippians says, "Finally, my brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is righteous, whatever is pure, think about these things." This call emphasizes the importance of purity in all aspects of a believer's life, which promotes the development of virtues and reflects their faith in everyday life. Churches often organize educational programs that aim to teach moral principles, including purity. These programs may include Sunday schools, seminars for youth and adults, and specialized courses in family life. Education plays a key role in developing strong beliefs and helping believers understand and apply Bible principles to their lives. The principles of cleanliness and moral living also contribute to a healthy society. Belief in purity and moral standards can inspire believers to participate in public life, helping to spread positive change. This may include volunteering, participating in charitable and educational programs that contribute to the common good. In conclusion, adherence to biblical principles of purity and morality not only strengthens the personal lives of believers, but also has a positive impact on their families and society at large. These principles provide the foundation for the development of sustainable and healthy communities that value loyalty, purity, and moral responsibility. When discussing sexuality and its impact on society, biblical teachings offer a unique perspective that emphasizes the importance of moral and ethical standards. These standards not only shape personal relationships, but also influence social welfare and cultural norms. The Bible views sexuality not as something taboo or shameful, but as an important and beautiful part of human relationships that should be expressed within the confines of marriage. This view emphasizes sexual interaction as an expression of love, fidelity, and togetherness, which contrasts with the more common perception in modern society of sexuality as a means of satisfying personal desires without consequences. Modern society is often faced with a culture that supports the idea of sexual freedom without commitment. This can lead to various social problems such as increased divorce rates, loneliness, and even psychological problems. In this context, biblical principles offer an alternative approach that emphasizes the stability and depth of relationships. The church can play a key role in sexuality education by offering programs that teach youth and adults about healthy and ethical aspects of sexual relationships. Such programs may include discussions of the importance of fidelity, abstinence, and the moral implications of sexual decisions, which promotes healthier family bonds and society as a whole. Supporting biblical family values and sexual purity can also help counteract negative tendencies such as sexual exploitation and pornography. The church and Christian community groups can offer resources and support to those facing these challenges, providing moral and spiritual guidance. Ultimately, strengthening biblical teachings about sexuality and committing to these principles can promote cultural change that encourages more respectful and responsible attitudes toward sexual relationships. This can lead to a reduction in the social problems associated with unhealthy sexual relationships and to the creation of a more stable and healthy society where strong, loving relationships and family ties are valued. Sexuality education based on biblical principles can help youth develop healthy and respectful relationships. Church and community programs can teach teens and young adults the value of fidelity, the importance of marriage and the role of family, and the consequences of premature sexual relations. Such programs not only provide information about physiology and safety, but also educate in the spirit of moral and ethical standards that strengthen the individual and contribute to the formation of stable life attitudes. Media plays a significant role in shaping perceptions of sexuality, especially among young people. The predominance of images of sexual freedom without consequences can distort the real understanding of healthy relationships. The church and Christian educational institutions can offer alternative media resources that present sexuality in a context of love, respect, and long-term commitment, which helps youth develop critical thinking and resist the negative influences of popular culture. Parents and caregivers play a key role in educating children about sexuality. Open and honest conversations about sex based on biblical principles can prepare children to make wise decisions in the future. Parents can use Bible teachings to discuss the importance of purity, fidelity, and self-control as fundamental elements of a healthy relationship. The church can also take a role in discussing and addressing issues of sexual exploitation and abuse. Providing educational resources, supporting victims, and actively participating in social initiatives to protect vulnerable populations can help create a safer and more just society. The church can act as an advocate for moral and ethical standards by providing resources and support to those facing such challenges. Ultimately, biblical teachings on sexuality offer a deep and morally rich perspective that can counter superficial and often harmful views of sexuality in modern society. Through education, media, family education, and social work, the Christian community can make a significant contribution to creating a culture that values respect, love, and long-term human connection. Let's move on to the practical part of the video, where we will discuss specific methods and resources that will help believers integrate biblical teachings into their lives, strengthen moral principles, and support spiritual growth in the context of family and community. Establishing a daily prayer practice helps strengthen your connection with God and maintain spiritual health. Prayer can include thanks, requests for help or wisdom, and prayers for loved ones and those who need support. Regular reading and meditation on the Bible helps you better understand Bible teachings and find answers to life's questions. Discussing readings with family or in small groups can deepen understanding and support communication among community members. Participation in Bible study groups and home groups provides opportunities for fellowship, experience sharing, and mutual support. These meetings promote deep communication and can serve as a source of support during difficult times. Participation in church volunteer and service projects helps put Bible teachings into practice. This not only promotes personal growth, but also contributes to the community. Regular family evenings, where each family member can share their experiences, successes, or concerns, strengthens family bonds and maintains openness and trust between parents and children. Open discussions of morals and ethics based on biblical principles help children and adults develop strong moral compass and be better equipped to make decisions in difficult situations. Using Bible apps and online platforms for Bible study, prayer, and virtual group participation can increase access to resources and deepen spiritual experiences, especially for those who are unable to attend church regularly. Participating in webinars and online seminars on religious and spiritual topics helps strengthen your knowledge and understanding of biblical teachings and provides learning opportunities from home. These practical steps and resources can help believers integrate Bible teachings into their lives, strengthen moral principles, support spiritual and moral growth, and promote healthy and stable family and community relationships. Regular prayer strengthens your connection with God and maintains spiritual health. Viewers can set a fixed time for prayer each day, which will help them stay focused on their moral principles. Reading the Bible daily promotes a deep understanding of Christian teachings and their application to daily life. It is recommended that you begin or end your day by reading and meditating on a biblical text. Churches and religious organizations often offer courses that can help increase knowledge of Bible principles and teach how to apply them to various life situations. Active participation in church and community ministries not only promotes spiritual health, but also helps strengthen community and help those in need. Regular family gatherings for prayer or Bible study strengthen bonds and provide a shared understanding of moral values and principles. 2. Discussing moral dilemmas. Having open discussions about moral issues helps children and adults develop critical thinking and the ability to make informed ethical decisions. Use of digital resources. Using biblical study apps and websites can make it easier to read and meditate on Scripture regularly. Participating in online events hosted by church or religious groups provides additional opportunities for learning and networking, especially for those who cannot regularly attend events in person. These practical steps and recommendations will help viewers not only strengthen their moral and spiritual foundations, but also actively influence their environment by demonstrating examples of Christian life and behavior. Surrounding yourself with people who share your moral beliefs and aspirations can make maintaining moral standards much easier. This may include participating in support groups or prayer groups. In today's world, it is easy to encounter content that contradicts the Bible's teachings on purity. Using filters on media platforms and carefully choosing what you watch and listen to can help avoid exposure to inappropriate content. Developing confidence in your moral beliefs is important for resisting peer pressure and social norms. This may include learning to argue their positions based on biblical texts. Learning how to make ethically sound decisions in difficult situations will help believers remain true to their principles even under pressure. This can be achieved through seminars and courses offered by church and educational institutions. Believers can contribute to society by participating in initiatives aimed at improving public welfare, protecting moral values, and supporting those in need. This may include volunteering for charities or participating in local social projects. Explaining biblical principles and their relevance to modern society through blogs, articles, public discussions, and other platforms can help spread Christian values and educate the public about the importance of moral standards. These practical steps and strategies will not only help believers deepen their personal spiritual practices, but also actively influence culture and society by demonstrating the transformative power of biblical teachings in real life. As we conclude our review of practical steps for integrating biblical teachings into daily life, it is important to emphasize that each of these steps serves not only for personal spiritual growth, but also for strengthening society as a whole. Through regular spiritual practice, active community participation, family interaction, and community activism, believers can provide living examples of how deeply held moral and ethical convictions are translated into action. Such actions not only help create a more moral and caring society, but also provide opportunities for every member of the community to grow, develop, and contribute to the common good. Ultimately, this strengthens the foundations on which a stable, healthy, and prosperous society is built. Thank you for your attention to this topic. Remember that every small step in personal spiritual practice and public participation makes a significant contribution to the life of the community and reflects the light of biblical teachings into the world.